It didn't take much more than a bottle and 2 chairs to make a speakeasy. This is what Daniel Okrent said in his book, Last Call, The Rise and Fall of Prohibition. Today, join us for some stories. Get your own bottle, glass, or mug, and relax. This is Speak Easily, and I'm your host, Krista Stauffer.
Well, welcome to Speak Easily with Krista. I'm really excited for today, not only because of our guest and what our guest does for a living, but you're also one of my dearest friends, so I love you, Q. With us today is Q Jones, but Q Jones is going to transform magically today into Gretta Goodbottom. And so we actually get the experience of getting to see you from start to finish and what you get to do. So it's going to be weird because I'm just going to talk to you while you put makeup on.
I love it.
Yeah. So you start, and I'll just ask you a
start?
question. Yeah, so, okay, you got pantyhose. So he's going to rob a bank at some point. I hate wig caps, though.
Do you?
I do.
Yeah.
Do they bug you?
No, not at all.
Not at all. So the wig cap essentially holds everything in place.
Yeah, keeps all the hair out of the way.
Yeah. Okay.
Little purple glue stick.
For what? Your eyebrows.
Mm-hmm.
For what?
To glue them down.
Glue them down to what?
To
To
make
your
them.
face?
Yeah, to like make them nothing, so that I can like redraw new ones on higher.
Oh my gosh. This is fascinating. Okay. All right, so I have to know when the first time that you did drag. How old were you?
I was in grad school.
Okay.
Well, I should say.
Yeah, start.
I have my mom loves to pull them out. I have these weird little photos, when you're like 4 and
Yeah.
you're wearing your mom's high heels
Right.
and
Yeah.
got into her makeup.
Mhm.
So it's always been I think it's
You kind of always
4. We're gonna go with 4.
4.
I was
Okay.
4.
Number 4.
It's not good drag. But then
No.
grad school was
You were
the
4.
first
Okay.
real drag.
So what took you into it?
Theater.
I mean, yes, theater. Because it's a long step from I enjoy watching drag to I'm going to try drag.
It is. I think theater. Like when you're a kind of effeminate person,
Yeah.
there's not a lot of roles for you.
True.
And no one's gonna believe me as the love interest across from a beautiful woman because it just doesn't read that way.
Okay.
I'm not that good of an actor.
You are a good actor. So you went to undergrad at Capital, yeah?
Yeah, Capital University.
And then, I was gonna say overgrad. Can you tell how exhausted?
Overgrad.
Overgrad. You went for your master's at
The Ohio State
the
University.
Ohio State for
Composition.
music composition.
Yeah.
Because you are, would you say you're first a musician?
Yes.
Okay. And then a performer?
Yes.
Okay. 'Cause-
Yeah. Drag is the hobby.
Yeah.
All of my friends in the arts have the same problem. When your job is art,
Mm-hmm.
how do you find a hobby to unwind from that job? Do you go home and you're like, I'm gonna just do people's taxes for fun?
No, I have never said that.
No. But normal people.
Normal, yeah. No, they do.
Yeah, they're like, I'm gonna go home
Sewing
and crochet
or
or
baking.
paint or and I'm like, I wanna go home and not do art.
That's how I am too. Yeah. I don't know how to relax, but when I do, I'm doing literally nothing.
So yeah, Gretta has kind of become she is my relaxation.
Okay. So, first time you did drag was grad school. What was the occasion, or what was the...
It was a Wednesdays Are a Drag, which is hosted by Virginia West.
Yeah.
Now they're at District West.
Okay.
Before that, they used to be at Union.
Yeah.
And then when I started them, they were at Axis nightclub.
Okay.
And during grad school, you're really stressed.
Oh, yeah.
I might have done some Adderall. I'm not confirming or denying to get through it. But you you get really into school so much that
Yeah.
you need things to go out. And so
Right.
Wednesdays were my escape. Every Wednesday I'd be like, I'm gonna go
Yeah.
and just hang out with some drag queens and have a few drinks and do a few shots and then
Go back to school.
yeah, it makes
Yeah.
Thursday harder, but it makes my week
Right.
enjoyable.
Okay.
So yeah.
So just to update, because this is also a podcast, I feel it necessary to sort of also explain what's going on. So you just put white Ben Nye
Uh-huh.
powder?
It's actually not. I know it's in a Ben Nye tub, but this
Okay.
powder is really expensive, so I have just replaced this with baby powder.
Oh, it's baby powder.
Yeah.
Okay, so that just kind of smooths the natural
Mhm.
brow down.
Yeah, it fills all the little cracks in. And I'm gonna do another layer of glue once this dries in a second to just make it disappear.
Okay. And you use Elmer's purple wash, the glue.
Yeah.
Does it come out pretty easy?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because I know when we were kids, like you put it on your hand and then peel it off.
Yeah, it has to be the purple too. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah.
You can't use just the white.
I haven't tried it.
What is it? I mean, this is the one they ask for schools, I think.
Is this
The purple.
the good one?
Yeah. Well, kids can see when it's. Do they ask for that at your kids' school? I don't know. The purple glue sticks.
I
feel
think
like
they do, yeah.
They specify those.
Is that what public schools are teaching children these days? They're getting into drag during third period.
Why not? It's easier than Common Core. Anyway, I digress. So the first show that you did then was at Axis?
Yes.
How did you just like volunteer? Was it like an open, did they have
Virginia-
open drag nights?
Virginia volunteered me.
Really?
Yeah, I was just there every week, and I would always like hang out with them. And she was like, "You're kind of a groupie. Like, do you ever want to do this?" And I was like, "Well, I've thought about it. I have a theater background, but
Yeah.
like," she was like, "Okay, you're here next week."
No pressure.
Yeah.
Did you have to do your own makeup?
Oh my gosh, yeah, it was terrible.
Was it really?
It was really bad. Because I like went to like CVS thinking that I could just buy like
Yeah.
Elf. That's gonna cover my beard. Yeah, no. It's
No.
not good.
Were you?
I'll give you a photo that you can
Yeah.
post.
We need to post this on our.
Yeah.
Okay, so my other question, this may be like later on in your story, but where does your name come from? How do you pick a name?
I went through a 1924 baby book at the library because I've always felt attracted to like the vintage fashions and the updos and everything. And like my clothing style is very vintagey in that way. And so I had it narrowed down to Esther,
Okay.
Ethel, or Greta.
Okay.
This was
That's Greta. Did you have the last name picked out?
I did not.
Okay.
So the last name came from the first name because I chose Greta because it sounded like Getta. I was like, oh, that makes sense for like a punny drag name.
Yeah.
So then it became, first it was Greta Good Body, get a good body.
Ah.
And then it became Greta Goodbottom.
But is it hard to go through names and then figure out like what fits and?
It is, and like, we always tell like baby queens, like spend a long time thinking about this because it's your branding.
Yeah.
And it's not something that like
Change it.
Yeah, I mean you can, but you're gonna like be starting from scratch
Okay.
if you that way.
No, I get that. I mean, how long did it take for us to figure out the name of this podcast? There were some
Years.
No, not years. Not
Decades.
years. Neither of those are true.
That's true.
It's not true. But we went through some
He
pretty
just called
bad
you old,
ones.
Krista.
He did. He can't. though.
She's older than I am.
What did you say? Something like I had a quarter century's worth of experience?
Yes, quarter century's worth of experience under your belt. Yes,
Then you
Makes it
came back
sound
and
so much worse.
which
when you
makes
say it that way.
which sounds both awesome and terrible at
you
the
did
same time.
apologize for that one if I were.
How long has Greta existed? 1/10 of a century.
Okay, so now you've got the base.
Yeah, this
Concealer and-
super greasy,
Oh, yeah.
thick, shiny makeup.
Yeah. Did you do makeup class in college?
No,
You didn't.
Mm-mm.
So this was all just experimental and.
it was, yeah.
Tutorials
and
and-
I am just old enough that I was before the. I did not have the YouTube
No.
tutorials. So this was like you sit in a dressing room with a bunch of other drag queens, and you're like,
Watch.
what are you doing?
Oh, okay. Because I did have to take makeup class in college. I loved it. More like the special effects makeup and stuff. But
Mhm.
I always remember my partner hated anything near his eyes. So he was like the whole time. That part was not fun.
Yeah, you have to learn to just like
Just do.
not touch your eye. Like you
And
just like.
I'm also watching you fascinated because I don't do much makeup. So I'm like, what is he doing?
This is called highlighting.
Highlighting, which does what?
I'm creating those fake like shadows and valleys. So I'm taking because like masculine cheekbones are much lower than
Yeah.
like a feminine cheekbone. And so what I'm doing is I'm moving everything up. And I'm making it look like there's the illusion of a shadow here
Okay.
and like light here.
Which I see that now because it makes the face look more.
Yeah. It makes everything
angled.
rounder.
Yeah.
So I'm like angling this, but then I'm softening all of this.
Okay. Which is why a lot of transgender people don't want to get the facial.
Uh-huh.
Is that what it does then? Is essentially what you're doing.
There are a million types of different surgeries. Some people get cheek implants.
Okay.
Some people get their hairline shortened. Some people get like, chin shape change, jaw shape. They can change anything.
That's fascinating.
And it's really, it's really about what you want.
The look you want. That makes sense.
Because I know a lot of like I have a very long face, so the way I do my makeup is very different from how other people do their makeup. And if I did my face on them, it wouldn't look right.
Do you ever work on other drag queens? Makeup-wise, have you?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We used to do this event where we would like trade faces with each other.
Okay.
We do it every once in a while.
And to
still.
try something new, sort of?
No, it was like it used to be a charity show, and we'd like you'd draw people's names, and you'd be like, okay,
You.
I'm gonna do this person, and then
Okay.
you'd like do their aesthetic for drag.
Okay, so now you are adding
The
the
shadows.
shadows.
This is fascinating.
For all of you listening, I look so beautiful.
You're always beautiful.
It also the good makeup looks absurd until it's done. So like you
It does
should
a little bit.
it should never look like
It's very Bob Rossian right now. You're putting
Yeah.
happy little trees
happy little trees.
in the winter. Alright, so your first drag show, you said your makeup was not good, but what did you do for your first performance?
First song? Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Because it's been a while. Hasn't it?
Yeah, I don't even know if I remember.
Has it been a decade?
It's been a decade, yeah.
Okay.
Almost a decade.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if I remember. It was probably, I feel like I looked like Cher, so it's probably something Cher.
Okay. Because in essence, what the shows were that the West family did is essentially like a lip sync.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Okay.
you just play the track and then you
Right.
perform,
Okay.
dance, whatever your art form is.
Right. And so, because you're a musician, is it hard to lip sync?
No, it's easier.
It's easier.
Yeah. I mean, there's a big problem with queens who like don't understand how a singer actually moves their mouth. And so they like do the big mouth thing.
over-mouthing.
Yeah. And they're like,
singing.
I'm singing like this. This looks real. And it's like, no one does that. Yeah. So no, I think it's actually easier when you're an actual, like when you do sing.
Do you speak it out?
Oh yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. 'Cause you're not mic'd.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. If the music cut off, or like you get close to me and you can hear me being like, mixed with heavy breathing.
Yeah, that's exhausting.
It is.
You move a ton, and you move in heels. And you're how
I
tall?
love heels.
6'2"?
I'm 6'2" out of drag. Gretta's 7 feet tall.
Oh my God.
Where do you find heels that size? Do you have to wear them?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, in town you can buy them at like the Garden carries
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
But yeah, I typically order mine.
Okay. So, picking an outfit. You said typically you go for the vintage, but you make a lot of your own stuff too.
I out of necessity.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because when you're 6'2" and 200 pounds,
There's not a whole lot out there.
yeah, you can't really walk
Right.
into Dell and be like, let me get this cute little sundress.
Which is kind of sad, but
Yeah.
do most drag queens then, are they able to find stuff? Or,
It depends. Some of the smaller queens like can find stuff, but
like, Gilda?
yeah,
Okay.
like Gilda Wabbit is tiny.
Teeny.
So she can find stuff like
Yeah.
off the rack, but she even Gilda has most of her stuff custom made.
Okay. So what are the undergarments then? And we may
I'll
get
show
to
you,
that.
yeah.
Should we wait
So,
for that?
Yeah, I mean we can
Let's wait on. We'll get to that. And then okay, so we talked a little bit about wigs. You purchase those, but then and they're not cheap, but then they have to be styled.
Well, there are cheap wigs.
Okay.
You could
But you would know if they were.
yes. It's just like in theater. Like we've all
Yeah.
seen that terrible
What?
hard front where there's no lace.
Never seen anything.
Krista, I think we have a picture of you.
We definitely have
In
a
my
picture of you
favorite wig
in
from
a
Saturday
wig
Night
that
Fever.
matches that description.
God bless them.
Yeah, that's
It was
Saturday
only
Night
a
Fever
dead
wig.
animal.
That's great.
That's great.
Yeah.
No, that's
So like I really want a lace wrap. Like I want like a nice soft where it really accentuates the illusion.
yeah.
Um,
What is your favorite wig that you love?
probably this one
You
right now.
like this one?
Yeah.
Should-
But she'll die eventually.
What does that mean?
She'll just like get.
Just too
She just needs
overdone.
completely rewashed, reset,
Wow.
and they never come back the same.
How do you wash a wig?
It's just so it's like synthetic wigs are nylon,
Okay.
so it's just like you would wash your pantyhose.
Oh.
Some people stick them in the washing machine in like
Like a
a
mesh bag.
garment bag.
Okay.
Yeah. I usually do mine in the bathtub with just
Your stockings.
laundry detergent and
Yeah.
conditioner and
Okay. Because I can imagine in a night of performing, how sweaty do you get?
very sweaty.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
especially with undergarments, with wig cap,
hmm
with just performing in general.
Yeah, smell is a big fear of mine.
Are you a sweater too?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
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 I
Yeah.
feel like like if anything would scare me away from even trying it, it's like just the sweat alone would be like
Well,
all of that
yeah.
you've done would melt off of me.
But that's happened before, hasn't it? Like outdoor performances.
Yeah, I mean, the big part of it though is like that's why you're gonna watch me put like now like
Mask
I did all my
up.
colors and now I'm gonna do like setting powders over everything.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just set it in.
Yeah, to just be like to create a barrier so the sweat rolls down.
Now I know you're doing. Is this like a normal makeup for you, or is this like a quicker?
No, this is normal.
This is normal, so it doesn't take that long.
Like 30 minutes.
I thought it would take hours.
I mean, there are times that I make it take hours, but
What's your least favorite part
yeah.
of it? Taking it off.
No, honestly, getting into body,
Oh, okay.
getting into the corset, getting into
It's tight, isn't it?
yeah, and it changed. I mean,
Depending on the outfit.
and depending on like the night, like there are Wednesdays where you're like, this isn't that important.
But we don't say that.
We don't say that, yes.
What's your favorite outfit you've ever worn on stage?
Probably my first one and my only one that I have that I did not make.
Okay.
My very first main stage show that I did, this is back when we did like really campy,
Yeah.
absurd shows, was called the Hungry Games. And each of the drag queens was like a tribute from a district,
Okay.
but our districts were all like food themed.
Okay.
And it was this, yeah, it was great. So like, there was a drag queen who was from the region of chicken, and she killed someone else by giving them a Chick-fil-A sandwich, and the other queen died from eating it. I was Inebria, so mine was from. I was from the District 1 that produced alcohol, so we
Uh-huh.
were in like good favor, so we had nice clothes.
Oh yeah.
And oh my gosh, the last night. So I would chug a bottle of wine on stage during the opening
Oh my
presentation,
gosh.
but I would never ever finish it. And I would like, you like half fake. It's like theater.
Right.
The last night, Virginia thought she was gonna be funny, and she put vodka in my wine. So she like had dumped a little bit out and put vodka in there. And then she made me sit there on stage and drink the whole thing. It's great.
Tell us about Virginia. How'd you guys? I know you met at the shows, but
Yeah, I mean, Virginia is like Dragon Columbus. She
Yeah.
is our
the rep.
matriarch, yeah. So she's like Nina West's mother.
Yeah.
She's 147 other drag children's mother.
Really? How does the family work? Like, how do you get adopted into the West family?
Good question.
It just-
No one's really sure.
No.
Sometimes it's just that Virginia's been drinking and she likes someone backstage and they become her drag child.
Okay, but that's a pretty big honor, though.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of responsibility too.
True. You're representing more than one brand now.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you are very much like, the West family is known for raising charity money and doing all of these things. And so you can't be a West and then turn around on your social media and be a jerk.
Right. And so a lot of money raised then, the charities that they, where does most of them
Oh,
Kaleidoscope?
everywhere. Yeah,
Okay.
Kaleidoscope, Bravo. in recent years, Nina was teaming up with an organization that did gifts for senior citizens at Christmas for
Oh,
the
cool.
family. So yeah, Virginia's done a lot with like fostering of animals and food for homeless pets, so that homeless people are still able to keep their animals. And
Just an amazing way to be
Kill it. Perfect. Philanthropic. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's been a very
Filthanthropic.
It's a really great way to raise money for organizations.
Elmer fudded that one. I like that.
Would have been the first time. Vote for us on the Columbus Podcast Awards today. We're really good. So, when did you kind of transition from just doing Gretta as lip sync performer to Gretta as musical theater cabaret performer? Because is that a recent thing?
yeah, not even a year.
It's not been that long.
No.
Okay.
So Nina and I used to do these shows down at Shadowbox Live, and we would do them like 3 or 4 times a year, and we'd get out there and I'd play piano and she'd sing live, and we'd play goofy games like musical shares and just absurd things, whatever we could think of.
Yeah.
And it was really fun. And so I had actually, before COVID happened, had like set up, and I was gonna do one off. I was like, I'm gonna do my own night at Shadowbox, like one show.
Yeah.
COVID happened. Obviously, that all got canceled.
Right.
So then I was like, okay. And then Virginia was opening a new bar called District West. And she was like, hey, we want to do unique programming. If anyone has any ideas, like, let me know. And so I said, hey, I want to do this like live piano cabaret thing. I'll bring in local theater people. They'll sing live, I'll play, I'll sing. It'll be a fun night or whatever. She's like, well, how often do you want to do them? And I was like, I was thinking like a couple times a year. And she looks at me and she goes, how about every week? So that's how it started.
Yeah.
And
Who was your first dad? I know I was there toward the beginning.
I think you were at the first.
Was Amber? Did Amber do the first one?
No.
I've been there for Amber.
Shauna and Tirza maybe?
Let's see that. That was.
I did the 10 songs never to do in a musical theater cabaret.
Maybe I wasn't.
I don't remember who the
I
first
remember.
one was. I feel like
Oh, Ryan Stem, before he moved. That wasn't
No,
your
he was-
first.
that
That
was
was
not
the
my
first
first.
one that I attended, though.
Yes. Yeah, he was later.
Yeah.
But very much, yeah. It hasn't even been a year. I don't remember who the first
But
was.
you've had it every week, so to be fair, that's
Yes.
a lot of people.
Yes. We've done like 30 at this point.
So basically, what you plan is that you do 5 to 10 numbers yourself, and then your guests do another 5 or 10. Is that kind of a
Yeah. So I played with format a lot in the beginning. So that's not how it
Yeah.
started.
okay?
But playing with, I really want it to feel like a cabaret. I want audiences that are drinking and having a good time, which leads to like talking and side conversations. And so
Yeah.
you have to,
There's a lot of banter.
yeah,
Yeah.
and you have to be prepared for that. So it's not like a cabaret where you would like buy a ticket and go and sit down at a theater and watch a
Right.
cabaret.
Right.
Because of that, like it's meant to be participatory
Yeah.
and all of that. So
So now you're doing what? Explain. You've got a brown. I'm so good at that.
How do you choose where your eyebrows land? Because I noticed that they're not in the same place that your
No.
traditional eyebrows. I don't know. But,
this is the Anissa Love method.
Okay.
So your eyebrow should start at the outside of your nose. So if you
Okay.
imagine like a straight line up on each side. That's
Okay.
where my eyebrow starts. The peak of the curve should be with the center of or just to the outside of your like the black spot
pupil.
of your eye, your pupil.
Okay.
So I follow it up
wow.
to like where that is, and then I curve it around, but I just follow the natural shape of my eyebrow down. So I can
Okay.
like still see where I glued it. So I'm starting in the eyebrow, but then I'm just taking it all higher
Okay.
to make more brow.
Because it's done wrong all the time. You see it online, like people who draw eyebrows in like the wrong places, and it seems like that would be super easy to do, and I don't know.
We had a conversation about eyebrows once, didn't we?
Did we?
Like
I don't
how
know.
there's some weird brows out there.
There are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of emphasis on brows.
I used to have a thick brows. Now I've got like mad scientist eyebrows that kind of do their own like thing because I sleep on my face. So they,
Well,
kinda,
and then in the 90s, it was like plucked to the core.
Yeah.
Where you have nothing. You have like
yeah.
a pencil line.
Or you have like the one line shaved on the one side.
Oh, is that cool?
That was cool for at least a little while. It might be cool again. I don't know. I've seen a couple people that have like one line shaved through, on one thing. I don't know.
Then there was the eyebrow piercing. What do you do about piercings? I mean, you've got ear piercings, but what if you have like your, I don't know, eyebrow pierced or something?
I don't actually know if you could glue your brow down.
That's what I was gonna say.
Piercing. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
I imagine you just take your piercings out when you put on drag. I would imagine eyebrow piercings you can take out any piercing. I would imagine.
Yeah.
It's not like it's gonna heal up immediately and.
It's cool.
Like Wolverine, So.
Okay,
I was more worried about like the sticking glue and
yeah. I guess that's a concern as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That part. But it's Elmer's. It's safe. Did you ever eat glue as a kid?
I don't think so.
Did you?
Did I eat glue?
Yeah.
No, I didn't
the
eat
paste.
it.
That
No.
was you didn't
I put it on my finger, sure, but I never ate it.
There
no.
were so many kids
That pause was a like, did I eat it? No, I huffed it.
Oh, I huffed it like
I
crazy.
mean, it was a great night. No, there were so many kids growing up because we had to have the paste when we were younger.
Yeah.
That stuff was
When we were in
disgusting.
like kindergarten, we had the paste, and there
Yeah.
was a girl in my class that did eat paste,
Yeah.
but
There's
that always
one.
kind of wigged me out a little bit. So
Which never made sense because it didn't even smell good.
no,
The
it
rubber
looked
cement smelled great though. I liked that.
well because it smells like alcohol. So.
It was great. Made you feel a little woozy.
That's still a thing that drag queens do. Not on purpose.
Rubber
but-
cement.
Well, no, it's E6000. It's this high contact glue, but they use it to like glue the stones on those like beautiful evening wear.
Yeah.
So when you're doing like a full gown, you're probably doing 10 to 20,000 stones,
Okay.
and you're just sitting there with that E6000 just like,
Wee, I feel great.
and on the bottle it's like, use it with correct ventilation. But it's really fun to do it in a room with all the windows closed.
Oh man.
Well, that makes me feel safe with you.
10 to 20,000 individually placed, man. Like that's the stuff that like it goes past just dressing up to like full blown like that. That's insane. That's crazy.
How many outfits do you... Well, I know that you pulled back from that slightly because you were doing a lot of sewing work. Do we call it sewing work?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Costuming.
Costuming, thank you. Better term. Obviously, if I can't even say the term for people who raise money, I'm not doing well with words today. But do you, and now you said you make your own, but how long does it take you to build a costume?
It really depends on what it is. If I'm doing like a pageant evening wear where I know someone's going to critique every scene, everything, I'll spend a good 2-3 days on it.
Okay.
If it's like a quick little dress for a show that night, it could be an hour.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So for instance, this weekend we've got the cabaret for Bravo, which is exciting because we had Bravo on, I want to say last year, but we did nothing last year. 2 years ago when they did Secret Burn. Bravo is anti-violent organization
Buckeye Region
anti-violence
Organization.
organization for LGBTQIA plus youth or adults or anybody.
I think it's for anybody.
It's anybody. Okay.
Because I think they do a lot with domestic violence too,
Okay.
and like getting people out of situations.
Yeah. Which is awesome. So
Yes.
great organization, and you are hosting our cabaret that we're doing.
I am.
And you're singing a very easy song.
Oh yeah, yeah. Don't even have to try.
Yeah, we should be rehearsing nonstop from here on out.
What song?
I am gonna do "Be Italian" from the musical Nine, which interestingly is Jane Krakowski's only Tony.
Huh.
You didn't know
Oh,
that.
that's right. I don't know the show.
It's such a good show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nine. You sang a song from the college.
Call the Vatican or
Oh gosh, it's a ballad. Unusual Way.
Unusual.
I have used that for many an audition. It's crazy. Anyhow, so what are you? How do you prepare? besides makeup and costuming? Like, what do you do to personally prepare for one of your shows?
So like for this one, I've been watching Kathy Moss, right? Kathy Moss, not Kate Moss. Kate Moss is the
Kate
actress.
Moss is a, well, model. There's also model Kate Moss, but you're
Kathy Moss is who premiered Serafina in 9.
Okay.
I think.
So you're watching her mannerisms and movements.
Yeah. Like I've been watching like videos of her and listening to her inflection and the way
Okay.
that because she has this booming, big voice
Okay.
that works so well for the song. And so I've been trying to figure out where does that fit in my voice?
Because you're not playing for yourself now.
I'm not.
Okay.
This is like the first
different.
time.
Okay. Is that scarier or?
Yeah. Yes.
I was gonna say, because you do have the luxury. I don't want to say behind the piano, but there's got to be something calming of you're kind of in control of the speed and the key and.
Yeah, and like I can just like if something's not working, I can just stop in the middle and make a joke about it and move on.
Right. You can't really do
Yeah,
that.
this one I'm like I'm stuck doing what I said I was gonna do, which is
Have you ever
21
done this?
pages.
You've never done this song before.
I have done this song before.
Okay.
I've lip synced this song before.
Oh, but you've never sang.
Correct.
Okay.
And it's a lot of dancing in the middle.
How high are your heels? Will
oh,
you be
they're-
in 7 foot?
Yes. I will be in full Gretta mode.
How hard is it to move in heels? Like, I'll wear heels on occasion. They're usually off halfway between the start and finish of the event, but
Not at all.
really?
Really, yeah. When I first started, it was rough. Frisia Balls, who is she doesn't do drag so much anymore.
Your balls.
But she's Frisia Balls.
Some of these names are so brilliant.
Frisia is one of the funniest people I know.
Okay.
She's not doing a ton of drag anymore.
Yeah.
But when I first started, I was wearing these tall heels, and I looked like a baby giraffe. like I had just plopped out of my mom and like could not. And everyone was like, "You gotta wear short heels. Start with the character. Start with this."
Yeah.
And Frisia sat me down and was like, "Do you want to wear tall heels?" And I was like, "Yes."
Yeah.
Like I want to be a giant. And she was like, "Don't stop now. You'll never go to a higher shoe. If you get comfortable in like a 3-inch heel or a little pump, you're never gonna make that step to the really tall ones. Once you learn to walk on a tall one, you can put a short one on all day."
Wow. And when you play, you can't. I mean.
Correct,
to-
yeah.
To reach the pedals.
Well, I can, but I snap the heel.
Oh, because of the pressure.
Yeah, so like
Oh,
while I'm standing and playing, if I like try to work the pedal, I keep putting the pressure on the little stiletto.
Yeah. So you have to order your shoes. Can I ask, is this personal? What size are they? What size shoe?
I wear a size 13 heel.
Are they've got to be pricey.
Yes.
Yeah.
Drag is not cheap.
But
One time there was an interview and they were like, "How much is in this kit right here," or whatever. And so like I went through and priced everything, and I was like, "Oh, this is probably like $400 of makeup and brushes and
But
all of that stuff."
this is a job though too. It's not. I know it's a hobby, but it's becoming a job for you as well.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but any good hobby, you sink money into like crazy. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, that's the thing. It's like, you know, like you get into whatever hobby it is. It's like, oh, well, it'd be a nice, cheap hobby, and then thousands of dollars later, there you are. You know.
Yeah, no, everyone who has a hobby understands that.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're probably what, like halfway through now? Yeah.
Oh, 3/4.
3/4 of it.
Yeah.
That's this.
Yeah.
I really thought it takes forever. I only spend about 3.5 minutes on makeup.
I got to compliment your shoes too, by the way, which is obviously we can't see that on camera, but those are sweet. I'm a Chuck
Would you like
fan.
me to show them on camera? I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prop up those feet. That's got
There
a
you
little
go.
bit of height to it too. I
Yeah.
like that.
These are my new. They just came out like 3 months ago.
They
Those are
comfy?
sweet.
They are so comfy.
Chucks. Chuck has been around.
Chucks are the greatest shoes on earth.
They really
No
are.
question.
As I get older, my arches do not like them as much.
Oh, I can see that. Yeah.
But I like these ones. These ones have like.
They look like they have more support
Yeah, a
through
little
the
oomph
yeah.
to 'em. Okay.
Traditional Chucks are kind of just like a piece of flat rubber that you that you walk on. It's like sandals.
you choose colors, or is that based upon what you're wearing?
Based upon what I am wearing.
So I have a feeling we're going to be a little fiery today.
Kinda.
Okay.
This will all get muted once it's actually done.
What do you mean muted?
Like
tone down.
Yeah, like
so
the
I was
colors.
like, why are we muting you?
Mute
What
me,
is
please,
that?
Ben. Yeah, no, these colors just aren't going to be as bright as they are right now, but on purpose.
Okay. Do you ever get to a point where you're just like, I hate the look, I have to start over?
All the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you usually don't at this point, though.
No, I was going to say, you're a little...
Yeah, the worst is when you mess up gluing down your brows and they're like chunky, and you're the only way to undo it is to like shower, get all that glue out, start over. Yeah.
How do you take it off? What do you use? You have wipes?
Nope,
or-
just water.
Just water.
Oh, for the glue, yeah.
We used baby shampoo to get makeup off in college. That was like the only thing that really worked.
I use Jergens face cream
Okay.
for like the makeup, but then the glue you actually have to like take your fingernail and get under it, and then just get water in there to dissolve it.
Okay. Wow. Is there, and answer this as honestly or dishonestly as you want to, is there a lot of competition between drag queens?
Yes and no.
Okay.
My drag family is so supportive of each other.
Yeah.
We are the people who like, you have a new show, we are in the front row, we are screaming, we are like cheering you on. There is some sort of like animosity sometimes between families and between bars. Virginia did a lot to fix that this last year, but there used to be this whole like short north versus south side thing. Yeah, West Side Story.
In heels.
Yeah, there was just a lot of animosity, and it's like there are so many shows in town. There are more than enough bookings.
Due to
for
success,
everyone.
would that be the main?
I think
Who's
so.
more successful?
Yeah.
Well known.
I think jealousy is a huge part of it.
Yeah. But it's a lot of, I mean, you're putting your creativity against somebody else's, so probably like anything else, any audition or performance, yeah, you've got your competition. It just depends on, I guess, how you treat them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, absolutely. Like, I always look at it like my drag is my drag. No one else does what I do.
Right.
So why am I going to be jealous of this person who's out there dancing this way? Because I don't do that.
Yeah.
And it seems weird to covet that.
So it's almost better to create something entirely different and new and innovative.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Like be as unique as you can, because then you're going to find a niche where no one else is.
Right. Do you get nervous?
Yes.
Like, which aspect?
I get the nervous peas. Yeah.
So you just have to pee a lot.
It's a real, yeah, like,
well, and then you're...
before a show opens, it's like an hour before, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go pee. Then like 30 minutes, I'm like, okay, I have to pee again.
But then you're all tangled up in what you're wearing.
Well, I always wait to the last minute to put body on.
Okay.
All the other drag queens will be fully dressed, and I'll be like sitting there in my underwear, and they're like, showtime 10 minutes. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get dressed now. But as soon as I'm on stage, it goes away.
Nervous. Well, that's good, because you can't do much. I get a nervous fart. That makes you feel good.
Nervous fart?
Yeah, I crop dust a lot. My cast learned that the other day the hard way. We were all standing by a tree, and I kind of started backing up, and they started walking. I'm like, nope, no, you just stay up here. They learned. They learned.
Yeah, drag queens do that to each other on stage too. But it's usually on purpose.
Farting on each other.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're doing like floor choreography, and someone's like face is right behind it, so it's just funny. Farts are funny, people.
Farts are and they're natural. Everybody farts. I don't care what you say.
Never farted in my life.
Shut up. I ripped a good one out here last week. It was stellar. Not shameful.
So
God,
podcast awards, right? Let's talk about
Columbus
the podcast.
Podcast
Columbus
Awards.
Podcast Awards.
Are there categories? How does this work?
There are, and I didn't really know where to put us. But the Columbus Podcast Awards are going to be at the end of August. So the voting is happening now. Please vote for us. But there are different categories of arts, entertainment, comedy, business, entrepreneur, culture, and society, I think. there's several different categories. We are under entertainment, mostly because I couldn't figure out where else to put us.
That's generally what I put us under when I upload.
Yeah,
But,
and
I'm generally entertained.
thank you. Just a veiled compliment. We've known each other long. That's fine. No, but the awards, I got to go 2 years ago, 2019.
With the last time they had it.
Last time they had it.
Because last year was not a year,
Nope,
apparently.
and I think they started in 2018, so it's not been around for very long.
Right.
But I was there with Dino's podcast with Whiskey Business, and they swept it, which was great. They got comedy podcast, and podcast of the year, which is really cool. But it was also a nice time to meet other podcast hosts and exchange some business cards and kind of, I think because we, and you can speak to this too, we as podcasters don't typically listen to like lots of local podcasts, so it is kind of cool to put a name to what's happening.
Yeah.
And we've had a couple of them here. We've had Tim Trad, we had Tim Fulton,
Yeah.
we've had Mad Wolf, we've had several different, If This Bar Could Talk, we've had them on.
Right.
Jesse Hubbard.
Jesse, he has a specific podcast, or he's just on a zillion podcasts?
Well, he's been on a zillion.
He's basically a podcast star without having a home. Does he have a home podcast?
I believe that St. Russell was going to start one.
Okay.
Again, sorry.
If only they knew a place that they could talk to about that.
I had to listen to way more Columbus podcasts because I'm not sure of half of these.
There's a ton. But really, there's a podcast about everything.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I don't even listen to the same ones.
No.
And it's hard. You know, it's something that you have to like the voice and you have to like the content.
Well, but that's what's so great about it is, like, you can find a niche audience of, like, no, I just happen to fall into this weird little category of, like, you know, murder podcasts or, you know.
I do love my murder podcast.
Yeah.
My favorite murder is my favorite podcast.
I like Morbid.
Yeah.
You like Morbid?
I'm a Morbid fan.
I also really like Serial, which isn't so much murder, it's more just
It's a
like...
story.
Yeah.
I have been, well, of course, thanks to Tom Warren, I started listening to My Dad Wrote a Porno, which is phenomenal. Highly recommended. What else? You listen to Chris Hardwick?
Chris Hardwick's Nerdist podcast. My Brother and Me is one of my all-time favorites. There's, oh man, Conan O'Brien's got a great one. Ron Burgundy's podcast is great.
I started that one.
Yeah, it's...
Follow through, but...
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's one of those where it's like, I don't listen every single week, but, like, when I do tune in, it's pretty entertaining.
I don't love those movies.
Yeah.
So don't listen.
Yeah.
You wouldn't like it.
I liked the first one. The second one kind of ruined both of them for me.
I don't even remember the second movie.
That's part of it. It was like, I remember it being so bad it made me, like, not want to watch the first one again.
You've got a good thing going. You don't need
Right.
to...
Don't do it again.
Don't do it again.
Yeah,
Just-
quit doing. Remember this joke from the first movie? Yeah.
But that's easy to say.
I know.
But we also are in such a postmodern world at this time that, like,
Yeah.
I am a firm believer that there are no original ideas.
Yeah.
True.
That's
People
true.
love to be like, oh, you stole that from me. So, no, I adjusted it and I made it my own.
Yeah.
Your own thing.
Everything's
Like-
a remix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that song's gonna be... Okay. So you've added some glitter to to the brow line. So this is like... Also proving the point that it's hard to put on eye makeup without opening your mouth, right?
Do you have
Like
like a
your mouth
line
has-
item for just glitter as a budget type thing?
Yes, now. So I used to use like Joann's just craft store glitter, but then I learned how bad it was for the environment. So now I buy
good for
this
you.
really expensive biodegradable glitter.
Well, that's fabulous. That's awesome. I didn't know that was a thing. That's
it is
great.
a thing. Yeah.
That's
You can-
great.
You can buy environmentally friendly glitter that doesn't
Doesn't stay for...
sit in a
Man.
drain pipe and contribute to microplastics.
I feel like I need a couple of buckets of just like biodegradable glitter just around.
have it.
Just to have around.
Do you have a small mortgage that you can take out to?
Is it really expensive?
It's so expensive.
Is it?
Why?
Oh man.
Because it has to be so specifically made?
Yeah, it's just.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just.
What is it made out of? Do you know?
The one that I use, I think, is made out of algae.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
Unicorns.
Yep, basically.
Does it smell?
No.
Huh.
It looks
Interesting.
just like normal glitter.
Wow.
Huh. What is your favorite song to perform now? I mean, either that you play or...
Probably Getting Married Today. I love some words.
Which is a billion words.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's kind of Gretta's thing.
You
Gretta,
like a good challenge, though.
Yeah, Gretta likes songs with a lot of words.
Mm-hmm. And hard songs. You pick really difficult songs.
Yeah, I'm trying to get over that.
But that is a big... Is that Company?
Yes. Which they just officially announced.
Yeah.
They're coming back with that gender reversal one with Patty.
Patty. Is Patty Bobby?
No, Patty is Patty. Patty is
Oh.
the older woman.
Okay.
Ladies Who Watch.
Okay. I was wondering how Bobby would be as Patty.
I don't know if that would make sense.
Yeah.
So it's all about the 30th birthday.
Right.
And Miss LaPone is
She's not 30.
slightly over 30.
Is she 70 yet?
I don't know.
I
Does anyone follow her on Twitter?
No, but I heard that she's like, she just posts cats and sweet pictures and...
She, during shutdown, she posted some of the most hysterical, manic videos.
It's crazy. Follow Patty LaPone.
Follow Patty LaPone on Twitter. It is very enjoyable.
Now we talk about you are building Gretta as a brand. How do you do that?
So I think the biggest thing is you say yes to everything. You work.
A lot.
Yes, a lot. You do events that like other drag queens are like, oh, I'm not doing that. It's not very much money. It's not this. It's not that. But people there are gonna see you and remember your name, and it's gonna get people to your show, and it's gonna expand on everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's my first thing is say yes.
Okay.
If you want to work, you gotta work.
Yeah.
That's the only way to actually do it.
Okay.
The other thing is being nice to everyone. I don't care how tired you are, I don't care if your feet hurt. Take that 5 seconds for a photo with someone at the end of the night. Like,
Yeah. They love it.
yeah. And you just made a fan like for life.
Yeah.
And it's title of show. Like those 9 people are gonna tell 9 people.
Absolutely.
And I don't know the math on that.
That's 81 so far.
81. I have 81 fans.
A lot more than that. That's a lie, and you know it. What's the biggest event you've ever done?
Probably the Gay Softball World Series.
Where was that?
It was in Columbus.
Okay.
Like, it rotates cities, but it was here 7 years ago. They closed off the whole short north, did a huge block party. Insane crowd. And like we got to be on stage with like En Vogue and like
really?
En Vogue wanted like drag me backup dancers and
Okay.
yeah, it was big.
That's awesome. Scary, probably.
Not at that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're putting on the eyebrows of death. Eyelashes. Sorry. Words. I am not good with words today at all. Krista's been outside a lot over the weekend.
You didn't call them ear lashes, so at least there's that. So
Didn't.
Yeah.
I do love your ear holes reference.
Ear holes, yeah.
Yeah.
Eyeballs and ear holes.
Eyeballs and ear holes?
Yep.
Yeah. Makes it sound really gross. In a way.
Yeah. That's kind
accomplish
of
that.
by design. Yeah.
Okay, so what, you're like tacking them up?
Yeah, I want, again, to create that illusion of a higher cheekbone, I want the
Okay.
illusion that my eye, so everything has been tilted this way.
Okay.
To create the illusion that everything is taller
Okay.
and there's more cheek space.
Now you wear glasses typically. Do you wear contacts when you perform? Okay.
Yeah, I am really blind. So I'm like -5 and -4.25,
Okay.
which is a lot.
I'm -4.2 and -2.25.
Oh yeah. So my strong eye is your weak eye.
Yeah. It's just fun waking up and not being able to see anything. It's great.
Yeah, I want to do. When quarantine first started last year, drag queens were just bored out of their minds. So they were doing these like living room shows and
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, we're gonna entertain this way.
It got old real quick, didn't
It did. I was very over it within like a week. But then we started doing like, well, what if we do absurd games on like Zoom with each other? and then we like film them. And so we would do these ones where like you have to do your makeup without a mirror, or you only have 10 minutes to do your makeup, or every time there's a drinking game that's really fun, every time you touch something else, so like you put a brush down, you touch a new one, you have to take a drink.
Oh, jeez.
Oh man.
You ever had to put your makeup on drum?
Yes.
How did that go?
Surprisingly well.
Okay.
You know, there's that like when you're performing, one drink calms you down, two drinks takes away your inhibitions, 3 drinks things start to get sloppy. So as long as you hit that middle period, it's gonna be great.
Yeah, because I think by the time I performed for your show, I'd had 2 whiskeys. Yeah.
You need just a little bit to like.
Perk it up.
Yeah.
We were really
You
nervous.
hear that, kids?
Just 2 drinks.
Alcohol's the secret to performing well.
Well, and then you did a lot of teaching still because you are a teacher.
Yes.
So all of that over Zoom, which is super fun. I know because we got to work on 2 amazing productions together.
Yeah, I like never want to see Zoom again.
I never do either. So over it.
I'm thankful for the technology and like.
You learned a lot this year.
Yes.
You were the one that put so many things together, and fun or not fun. You
Yes.
probably, and is that part of building your brand? Is just kind of how you're able to put all of these things in advertisements and editing.
Oh, absolutely. I use all of that stuff now. Like,
Yeah.
I use Photoshop on a weekly basis.
Okay.
I did not know Photoshop at all before.
So maybe in a way this was good to have that time to.
I don't know if I would go as far as saying
I wouldn't say it was good.
Yeah.
But it was beneficial.
Yes,
Is
it
that
had
better?
it had good things.
What is that?
This is liquid highlight.
Oh,
So it's gonna give me like this sparkly, shiny glow.
I'm so excited. If you have not already, make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube so you can see this, because this while this may still be a phenomenal podcast, you're gonna get a lot more out of the video. So make sure to do that. Oh, it is shiny.
Yeah.
So who is your favorite drag queen? I know that's like selecting children popular.
Yeah. I mean, can we go categorically?
Absolutely.
Because there are so many queens that I love for different things.
Yeah.
I love Nina and Virginia West for very different reasons. Virginia is my favorite person ever to watch do a ballad. When those like blue lights turn on, she comes out in her gown. She does It's All Coming Back to Me Now, which is 7.5 minutes long, and she can hold a bar full of drunk hooligans in silence by just like the move of her hand. So like I love watching her do a ballad. Nina, watching her interact with people is like my favorite thing. Nina can talk to anyone, and she just will like make you feel like the most. Well, like I love watching Nina talk to people. If we're talking like national fame, probably Ben de la Creme is my favorite.
Okay.
Out of Seattle.
Okay.
She is hysterical. She is vaudeville cabaret. I think you can still watch her and Jinx's holiday special on Hulu.
Okay.
But she's like old school camp, but with the modern glamour.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the best of both worlds. Yeah, I don't know. There's so many. Again, I love all these queens because they're unique and they do their own thing.
Right.
So it's hard to be like, well, I like that more than that.
Yeah.
Because I don't.
You don't. There's been a lot of controversy lately with introducing drag to children, or children being exposed to drag. So why is it important that that is something that we do?
I think it's important to expose children to everything.
True.
It's the whole like abstinence only education, and we have shown time and time again that it doesn't work. And people still think, well, we can't tell kids about sex.
We should.
Kids need to know about sex.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because God forbid they get molested. God forbid something happens. They need to know that what happened. If they don't have any frame of reference for that, that's how those secrets.
Right.
Oh, it's our secret game. Don't tell anyone. So we have to talk about it. We have to introduce kids to everything.
Yeah.
I do think there is a sexual element to drag, to bar drag. And so I understand people's fear. I understand them seeing, they're like, I remember going to a drag show in college and this drag queen making out with this person, this happened, they took a guy's shirt off. Like, we are not doing that with kids. Just like their parents may do things that we understand what it is when we're around a child.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean, I think it's very important just to be well-rounded. And if you have one of those kids who ends up being queer in some way, or they have a friend that's queer in some way, exposing them to that early, it makes them help someone else.
Right.
It helps them.
It takes the stigma. No, I think that's important. It's very important. So I'm fascinated by the makeup again. It's just, what color are you using today for your lips?
This is just like a nice neutral kind of pink.
You don't do the crazy lipstick?
I do. Just not today.
Not today. Not feeling the lipstick.
How important is the exact order in which you're doing all of the things? I know obviously like foundation is first and that kind of thing, but like...
So foundation's actually not supposed to be first.
Oh, okay.
Every makeup person, like if you watch actual makeup tutorials, they're like, oh, you should do your eye makeup first.
Really?
Yeah, because you're gonna get like black and other colors that fall down on the other pigments.
Okay.
So the idea is like you do your eyes and then you clean up the edges by doing your foundation. It's just not how I learned, and I can't switch it in my head.
Huh.
Where do you want to see Gretta in the next 5 years? What's your goal?
Oh, I don't know.
This is always, it's like a server coming to your table when you have a mouthful of food. Like, how's everything going? I'm doing this right now because Keith's putting on makeup on his lips. I shouldn't be asking questions because you can't really respond. It's like the dentist.
I think that's just a hard question because if you had asked me that 5 years ago, what I said wouldn't be where I am now. True. But I'm so happy with where my life is. So I almost don't want to say like, I want to go here.
Yeah.
I want to do this because I just want to enjoy life and see what happens.
But if there was a way to take your brand nationally, would you do it?
It depends how.
Okay.
If you're asking the Drag Race question, not right now.
Okay.
Because of the fandom.
Of the opera?
Yeah, the fandom of the opera. No, if you get on like, if you have some free time in your day, get on a famous person's Instagram and just leave positivity on their Twitter because they get so much shit all the time. It's like a reality show. Like
yeah.
Queens are getting death threats because someone else went home, and it's like what? Yeah. So I don't know if I'm strong enough mentally to handle that.
Yeah. Wow. So what, I mean, with Nina, because Nina was on Drag Race, what kind of happened from there? I mean, obviously, publicity and notoriety went up. What did Nina have to do from that point?
Nina just did what she's always been doing. You all knew Nina in Columbus before that, which is like unheard of for a local drag queen.
Right.
So she and Virginia together built an empire before Drag Race even came around.
Right.
So Nina already had all the skills. She knew how to work. She knew how to talk to people. She knew how to schedule herself. All of that. So she just used it.
Does she still do that now?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Oh, she's nonstop.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of time in the makeup chairs. What do you listen? Do you listen to music while you prepare? Do you?
Yeah. So I usually like put on a playlist.
I mean, music. Here we go again.
Depends on the show. So like for my Sunday show, I usually put on my Show Tunes playlist.
Okay.
Which is just, we made it during quarantine because our favorite night out at the bars was Union on Sunday for Show Tunes.
Yeah.
If you're ever there, you can probably still find me in a corner every Sunday.
You can. Actually, I can attest to
Yeah. So we like made our own playlist. It's like 800 songs.
Do you need like pump up type music or just familiar?
It depends on the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for the cabaret this weekend, what will you prepare yourself?
Probably the Show Tunes playlist.
Okay. And I know that, I mean, you're not having to do like the full show. But, yeah. What's your dream show? Who would you want to have come on? Anybody in the entire world for Don't Tell Gretta?
Virginia's dream is Kristen Chenoweth.
Okay. Okay.
I would die if Kristen Chenoweth said that she would come to Columbus and do my little 80-person show.
She might. She's a whippersnapper. She's great. Kristen, I know you're listening, so if you wouldn't mind, come to Columbus.
Or if anyone has like her contact info for her manager or anything, just let me know.
But you're also open to. Do you just like diversity in your show? Like
Absolutely.
every week is something completely different, and
yeah, and I'm a business person first and foremost.
Yeah.
So if someone approaches me and is like, "Hey, I want to do your show," my first question is usually like, "Do you have a bunch of friends who want to come hear you sing?"
yeah. No, I know.
Because I am going to pay you money to come do this, so I want to know that you're going to bring people who then could become potential new fans for me.
Right. That makes sense. Do we have a beauty mark? So we have, ooh. We do have a training back then. So are you
It's
done?
yeah.
So should we put a pause so you can get?
Well, you wanted to talk about the body and stuff, right?
I do.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to take a pause so you can do all that?
Yeah.
We're gonna take a quick pause.
Let me get my reverb on. Do you ever feel like a plastic bag drifting through the wind, wanting to start again? Do you ever feel so paper thin, like a house of cards, one blow from caving in? Do you ever feel already buried deep, 6 feet under screens, but no one seems to hear a thing? Do you know that there's still a chance for you? 'Cause there's a spark in you. You just gotta ignite the light and let it shine. Just own the night like the 4th of July. 'Cause baby, you're a firework. Come on, show 'em what you're worth. Make 'em go as you shoot across the sky. Baby, you're a firework. Come on, let your colors burst. Make 'em go You're gonna leave 'em all in awe. You don't have to feel like a wasted space. Your original cannot be replaced. If you only knew what the future holds after a hurricane comes a rainbow. Maybe a reason why all the doors were closed, so you could open one that leads you to the perfect road. Like a lightning bolt, your heart will glow, and when it's time you'll know. You just gotta ignite the light and let it shine. Just own the night like the 4th of July. 'Cause baby, you're a firework. Come on, show 'em what you're worth. Make 'em go as you shoot across the sky. Baby, you're a firework. Come on, let your colors burst. Make 'em go You're gonna leave 'em all in awe. Boom, boom, boom. Even brighter than the moon. It's always been inside of you. And now it's time to let it through. 'Cause baby, you're a firework. Come on, show 'em what you're worth. Make 'em go
firework for 4th
Yeah.
of July.
So this one, I'm a huge Bette Midler fan.
Are you really?
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
I think every gay person is. If you didn't know that, like that's her
just
kind
a-
of big foundation
Well, she's wonderful.
at the start of her career was the queer community.
Okay.
And when she was a music student, she like wanted to find cool things to do, so she would dig through the Juilliard library, looking for like those 1930s, 1920s
Yeah.
songs that funny people wrote that no one knew, and that's where she
Okay.
found all these cabaret pieces that are now like attributed to her.
Yeah.
So this one was written in, I think it was like 1915. And it just, when you listen to the words, it just goes to show you that they were just as filthy and raunchy as we are today.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay,
So
let's
this
hear
is the Long John Blues.
Okay.
I really need to go to the dentist. I got a dentist who's over 7 feet tall. Oh, I've got a dentist, baby. The man is over 7 feet tall. His name is Dr. Long John, and he answers every call. You know, I went to Long John's office, I said, Doctor, the pain is killing me. Oh, I went to Long John's office, I said, Doctor, the pain is killing me. He said, don't worry, baby, it's just your cavity needs a little filling. He took out his trusty drill, told me to open wide. He said he wouldn't hurt me, then he filled my hole inside. Oh, Jesus, Long John, don't you ever go away. 'Cause you thrill me when you drill me, and I don't need no Novocaine today. Oh, when he got done drilling, he said, oh baby, that is gonna cost you 10. Now see, I thought it was more 12 and a half. Oh, when he got done drilling, he said, oh sweet mama, that is gonna cost you, how much, Krista?
Well, you said 12, like 12 and a half.
10. But if it ever starts to throbbing, come back and see your Long John again and again and again and again and again. Oh yeah. You know I will.
That is brilliant.
Isn't it so good?
1920s?
It's like the 1920s or 30s, yeah.
I mean, there's no question.
No, it is raunchy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Very good. Do you have one more for us?
Oh, absolutely. What,
Do-
do you have any requests? I have a lot.
You do have a lot. Do you have any requests, Ben?
How about some share?
Some share.
Can you do some share?
Yeah.
Can you share with us some share?
Oh, let me see, where is it? Share.
You've done share, surely.
I have.
Okay.
I just have to figure out where I filed it away.
You have so many songs downloaded, too.
I do.
And you play off of the iPad. You don't use... Do you ever use sheet music?
No, I don't really like
You're used to the just
using
tap
sheet music.
now?
I don't know where my share is. Let's see if it's in iPhones.
Unless you want to do Not Getting Married Today.
Oh, I would need some help with that one.
I don't know it.
You don't know it?
No, I really don't know company very well.
Oh, I see if it's in iPhones.
I don't know.
Let's see. Where is she?
What's interesting to me is that every page turn, you literally just kind of like swipe it. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Have you ever lost in the middle of playing, lost a file, or swiped the wrong way?
Oh, all the time.
That's what scares me about it, though. Or is it worse to have sheet music that falls off the...
I mean, I've had that happen too.
Yeah, that's true.
You do whatever you think you can do.
Q is the most... The times that I performed with you, you are the most laid back, like, meh, what happens, happens. Which is scary when you haven't performed for a year. Because I think Billy and I were basically wetting our pants backstage out of nervousness.
My show is just such a... people are drinking and I'm drinking and we're talking and we're having fun and it's not that serious. I hate to
No.
say that.
I know, but it's that performer aspect of like, I want to be a good performer. But really it's just like, people are like, just entertain me. Just make me have fun. And I don't know, this isn't looking good.
Well, I keep trying to type in believe and it keeps pulling up like, I believe.
Spring Awakening?
Book of Mormon.
Book of More. Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
I am not singing that this morning.
No.
It is still fairly early.
I was going to say, this is probably much earlier than you're used to be using your voice.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did warm up this. I was like,
Okay.
I need to be prepared.
Which is good. You should be doing that. What else? Let's find
Okay,
something else.
I don't know where
Do
that
something
is.
else.
So we're going to do some Beatles.
Do some Beatles. And we'll close out with that.
Yeah, I love the
Let's do
Beatles.
that. Who's your favorite?
Ringo?
You like Ringo?
Yeah.
Oh, it's his birthday today. Did you know that?
I did not
It's
know
Ringo's
that.
birthday.
Are you lying to me?
No, I'm not
That feels like something that Krista would just like lie and just tell
90%
me.
certain, unless it was like a couple days. Ben, can you research that for us?
I will Google it.
He's gonna Google.
Okay.
But I'm 90% certain it's today.
Here come old flat top, he got moving slowly, he got juju eyeball, he got holy roller, he got hair down to his knee. Got to be a joker, he just do what he please. He wear no shoe shine, he got toe jam football, he got monkey finger, he shoot Coca-Cola, he say, I know you and you know me. One thing I can tell you is you got to be free. Come together right now over me. He back production, he got walrus gumboard, he got oh no sideboard, he got spinal cracker, he got feet down below his knee. Hold you in his armchair, you can feel his disease. Come together right now over me. The third verse is the weirdest one.
They're all a little weird.
Oh, they're all weird.
They're all very drug-induced.
He roller coaster, he got early warning, he got muddy water, he got mojo filter, he say 1 and 1 and 1 is 3. Got to be good looking cause he's so hard to see. Come together right now over me.
It's amazing that you can.
Oh, thank you.
It's amazing that you can take a song like that. I mean, and just make it into a performance as opposed to like I'm expecting to hear it like the Beatles would sound. But no, it's
Oh,
like,
no, I don't sound like the Beatles.
oh, but I love that.
Yeah.
It's like, no, this is mine.
I wish young performers would learn that too.
Same.
You don't have to sound like
Don't
the
have to
Broadway
sound
recording.
Like anybody. Don't watch the videos.
Yeah.
Happy 81st birthday, Ringo Starr.
Happy birthday,
birthday, Ringo.
I didn't even know that when I just was like,
I
oh, we're
saw
doing some Beatles.
Paul
He's a
shouted.
big fan. He
Paul
listens.
shouted out to him this morning. That's why I saw it. Paul made a shout out to Ringo.
Yeah.
And that's where I saw it. Because I'm a Paul fan.
I was just gonna underscore when we talked.
This is the underscore for that. Almost sounds like a Billy Joel.
Yeah, this is that song. Blackbird singing in the dead of night.
Take these broken wings and learn to fly. See, I can't do this. I sing this. I can't underscore. Because then I just want to sing the song. And
No, yeah, we just talk.
just talk.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you again for listening to Speak Easily. This is like the greatest. This will be the best exit message I will ever have because of this. So thank you for listening to Speak Easily. If you would go to ColumbusPodcastAwards.com, you will see us on there under Entertainment. Vote for us if you would please. Also under Podcast of the Year, you can vote for that. But you'll find us on Facebook, Instagram, Boxland Media. Make sure to like and subscribe on YouTube because seriously, this is worth checking out the video. It's absolutely phenomenal. Gretta Goodbottom, thank you. I'll see you like